Song of the Century are looking for, trying to figure out a way to start the record, and it's like doing something that was a cappella, and we were running a pirate radio station down in Southern California last summer. I sang the song, and we literally just hooked it up to the pirate radio station, and it played the song, and it kind of gave it this real nice, scratchy. And there's something about like old 78s that I think there's like a sense of like yearning about them or something. I don't know. I think it kind of, Song of the Century sort of introduces the record.
21st century breakdown. I once was lost but never was found.
20.
Do you know the enemy? Do you know your enemy? Well, gotta know the enemy. Do you know the enemy? Do you know your enemy? Well, gotta know the enemy.
I didn't think we really gave much thought to what was going to be a single or anything like that through the record. It just, Know Your Enemy just seems to be like one of the songs. It's kind of a broad, bold stroke sort of anthem,
Drug and alcohol abuse, use. It's, sort of that self-destructive...
Before the Lobotomy, I think, is one of the biggest floods of emotion on the record.
Christian's Inferno, that's when like really kind of get an idea of like who Christian is, what he represents, and what the demons that plagues him. He's it's kind of the most diabolic song I've ever written, but really like something that's like really kind of uplifting about it is that it's the chorus is sort of an anthem where just even playing it live at the Fox Theater the other night, it was like people kind of got the chorus immediately and everyone started singing along, and it's interesting when it's like yeah, we're all like hell yes, so but it goes from that and it goes into the next song, Last Night on Earth, which it goes from this one diabolic song to probably the most tender sort of love ballad that I've ever written, or that the Green Day has ever done.
You are the moonlight of my life every night.
You go from one, it's kind of like it's like a shooting a subway train into hell, and then it explodes, and you're in like the middle of like a, I don't know, outer space or something when by the time Last Night on Earth comes on.
Yeah, I concur. I think that Christian's Inferno definitely has this schizophrenic side to it. That's in one hand it's about as dark a place as you can go to, and then the other side of it is with this major chorus, it's really uplifting, and there's a sense of unity in there too.
I think the title Christian's Inferno kind of sums it up too.
East Uses Nowhere. This song is just kind of a call out against the hypocrisy of religion, and I don't think it's necessarily a particular religion, but just in general, there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes along with it. Whether whether you're using it as a vendetta or you're using it for monetary gain or whatever, it's people tend to abuse their faith in order to fulfill their God complex.
It also rocks balls. East Uses Nowhere is probably one of my favorite songs right now, just because it's just so hammering. It kind of hits on a lot of levels for me. So
I can't wait to play that song live. The more people get to know it,
yeah.
I think it's going to be something about playing that song in a room full of a lot of people, where it's going to be just people kind of bouncing all the way back. So it's going to be awesome. The song's about revenge, sort of having this vendetta. It also plays into a little bit of self-destructive part too, where it's a song about sort of gun control, but it's like really kind of sexually driven, and there's a song like we had it's the first time like we're really kind of bringing in musically like a Middle Eastern influence, or because I feel like music is so tied together. If you think about like old Irish folk hymns and old Mexican folk songs and a lot like Middle Eastern sort of songs or whatever, some kind of gypsies kind of flavor to it. It's you can find the connection. It's like you can't really tell if that song could be played by like a mariachi band or like an Italian funeral band or something like that. Just song just kind of goes for it. It's fast, and it's another one of the songs where everyone's singing Vendetta at the same time together. I think it's gonna go off.
She won't cooperate, well, she's the last of the American girls.
There's a lot of lyrics in Last of the American Girls. I think originally that song started out as being about my wife, and then I kind of started getting into more of my own beliefs and anything from a little book of conspiracies to like playing vinyl record. It's sort of like about an empowering sort of subterranean kind of lifestyle where but at the same time it's sort of there's a new era that's coming in of like the way we all need to live, but like living in a disposable society or something like that, but actually living off garbage and finding beauty in it in some way. So it's that's kind of what that song is about.
Desperate, but not hopeless. I feel so useless in the murder city.
It was the last song that was written on the record. Me and Micah Trey, we went down, and we were in downtown Oakland, and we went out to go, have drinks, and then it was right after these demonstrations happened. This kid was shot by a BART cop at the Fruitvale BART station
While handcuffed.
We're walking in. The first line is "I'm wide awake after the riot," and it's it was like we weren't there for the riot. It was right after, so it was kind of like picturesque, and you see these sort of blowing newspapers around. And I remember it being particularly windy that night. You kind of felt like there was I don't know, like a ghost or something like that. And us, we were out just getting fucked up. We're getting hammered that night. So it was, it was just sort of this kind of strange contradiction that was going on. That song gets stuck in my head more than I think the other songs do.
Run away from the river to the street and find yourself with your face in the gutter.
That's where the character of Gloria kind of comes back in.
The return.
Yeah, it's got that sort of that's
Somebody take the pain away. It's like an ulcer bleeding in my brain.
Restless Heart Syndrome's kind of that song's about government-regulated emotions. We live in a society that's, we can't get health care, but under government-regulated drugs, we have more commercials on TV for new drugs all the time than just about anything else. In one hand, you're constantly being told to, you got to be on pills. You got to fix your emotional, state of mind. Yet, on one hand, you might be trying to kill off old nightmares, but you could end up actually killing your dreams instead.
I'm gonna drink, fight, and fight, can I push and your luck all the time now?
Horseshoes and Hand Grenades is kind of an older song that Butch Vig was really into. We owe a lot to him on bringing that song back because it ended up being a lot of people's favorite song on the record so far. So it's almost like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Maybe it's related to like Christian in a lot of ways, where it's just kind of or at the end of the song says Gloria, like Gloria. So it's I don't know, it's just kind of one of those songs where it's just kind of like fucking shit up, kind of just being a nihilist, but in sort of a sexy way or something. It's kind of, declaring your independence, but at the same time, like trying to getting completely fucked up at the same time. So it's, driving in a car, filled with a bottle of Jack Daniels and, saying, it's time to go to work.
Yeah, that song, and I love the title of that song because on one hand you have a horseshoe that could be considered a charm of luck, and then you have hand grenades, which could also be considered a charm of luck. Something extremely violent and and hateful. So there's a.
Don't worry, dude. I'll jump on the grenade for you.
Yeah.
Can you hear the sound of the static noise?
Static Age is about taking in every sort of advertisement and things that you don't need and this sort of defacing of the sky because of like a billboard that is trying to sell you something, or sort of static. I think there's static is like a theme throughout the whole record, where it's like you're being bombarded with having like 3 different televisions on at the same time or something, and the different things that are advertised to you, just constant, this like floodgate of useless information. What you're really trying to do is find a deeper truth or deeper meaning or something, and that's what that song is sort of about, is trying to make sense of the static and trying to declare like what you think is bullshit, and what's real,
21 guns, lay down your arms, never goodbye. 21 guns, throw up your arms into the sky.
21 Guns is definitely one of the songs where you feel like you're playing in front of a lot of people. I don't know, just kind of one of those things I wrote on piano and then ended up being just, this moment alone, I mean, I think a lot of people can think maybe that song is about like world peace or something like that, but I think it's also, there's like maybe sort of surrendering to the static to try to find some kind of like inner peace, or just finding strength in silence. And surrendering doesn't always have to mean that you're giving up, but maybe it means something like it's just like you're just trying to find a little humanity,
Did you try to live on your own? When you burned down the house and home.
That's a really powerful moment, and I think it's going to be a really powerful moment live, too, on the record. It's kind of it's one of those moments where you kind of feel like, like you say, you're surrendering to your emotions and humanity, along with pretty heavy content.
American Eulogies kind of actually 2 songs.
Well, at 3, because it's
To a place where everything's not the click of a button, and find value in things that aren't so flash in the pan or aren't controlled by, technology.
Well, I just wanna see the lights, and I don't wanna lose my sight.
the whole record is trying to find some deeper truth. I think this record we've gone deeper and challenged ourselves as artists and as musicians or as punk rockers than I think we've ever have. We double guessed ourselves, triple guessed, quadruple guessed. I mean, a lot of that is just trying to find like a deeper truth. And when you go song to song to song to song, like that, we've just been talking about. And I think that See the Light kind of sums up like where that record sort of was taking us all along. It talks about streets, and it talks about deserts, and it talks about rivers, and it talks about natural disasters and every crisis, from the swine flu to the hurricane, which is a lot. So I think it's just trying to find more meaning in life and more belief in yourself.
I always feel like that song kind of bridges the gap between the chaos that we live in and the inability to argue your faith.
Now go listen to it.